Okay, everybody, I'm that girl Goddess, and I want to talk about marriage because a lot of people they don't believe in marriage, but they supposed to be Christians. As a Christian, we supposed to agree with God, the Word of God. It is the you not believing in marriage is not gonna stop judgment on you for fornication or adultery. It's not gonna close demonic doors because you don't believe in marriage. Now, the problem with a lot of marriages outside of communication is you have too many people with opinions being voiced in your marriage. Okay? Because even just because we're family don't mean we agree. Okay? We didn't have parents, and some of our parents did some horrific things or things we felt was truly just stupid. And we said when we grew up, we ain't finna do that. And a lot of us stuck to that. But yet they feel they have opinions in your marriage. Like you married this man or this woman, but they sister and brother can be a couple years younger than you or a couple years older than you. But they want to walk around and act like they some kind of authority in your life. When God say he put any two people that he has joined together, he didn't say, and when I join y'all together, y'all just do and be a puppet and let other people run your life. But these same people, I see people play up to their mother-in-laws and sister-in-laws, and they be covering up for your spouse if they out there in the street. And then they be laughing and talking about you. And these supposed to be Christian people too. This is what get me, and even if they're not Christian people, why do they have so much voice? And when you ask the guy or the woman that's married, because as a pastor, I counsel a lot of people marriages, and I be like, well, why is your mama in your business? Y'all sat down and made a decision together. First of all, when my children and the ones that's not married, you know what I try and tell them? Mama, what you think? I think you should take it to God and really voice how you really feel and come to an understanding. Because it's not my life. If you want to go to work and have your wife sit at home and raise the children, that's not my business. It's not my job to sit there and say, well, I don't want my son paying all the bills because if she get ready to leave or he at work and she can be doing this, and that. I don't know. Because sometimes you can have a agreement among each other and a trust that is developed between you two. And y'all good and y'all hold honest, hold to it. I can't sit up and listen to a damaged person tell me, and when I say damage, whoever want to speak into my marriage, and just because they went to work and that woman left, or just because they went to work and paid all the bills, and when they lost their job, that person didn't support them, it's not a reason for me to tell people not to be there for one another that's husband and wife, and that's what they signed up for. And I say that honestly because people can say, well, he paid all the bills, but when it's time for him, she left. Man, sometimes some people take their money and they do so many abusive things. You're not allowed to do that. They treat you like you're a child, like a puppy. But when they broken and you got to go out there and do the work, sometimes the best thing you can do is find an exit out of that marriage. And I believe in marriage. But everybody who get married don't have the emotional um maturity for marriage or the spiritual sense. Some people get married because they need a roof. They need a father to their children or a mother to their children. Some will get married because they're competing with different people and trying to prove to them I can get married too, and my spouse gonna be better than your spouse, and don't even love each other. the reasons a lot of people get married varies so broadly. It used to be because they loved each other. But now they'll sit there and tell you, well, good child, marry somebody who loved you more than you love them. Girl, he got that money, that bread. That man can be coming home, pow-powing you, or you marry somebody, and marriage is supposed to be between the husband and wife, the intimacy, and this person's a chronic cheater. And they don't see nothing wrong with it. And they mothers and stuff be saying around saying stuff. Well, I can understand because if he's an older man, he look how old he look, how she look at his body. Child, by these young girls be messing around these older men anyway. You was messing around with older men, and then you say something like that. Or, oh, how can he look at her? I tell people I'm an older woman, but guess what? And I didn't say old, an older woman, but guess what? My body look better than most of these young people. Okay, I don't have stretch marks and had a bunch of children. Okay, I'm a big girl, but I ain't sloppy. I ain't that big. Because in my pants, I still only wear a size 12. But the upper body, okay, I wear 1X. I'm top heavy. But I just look at people, they got so much to say. Oh, no, you be with that older woman. Oh, she been being intimate for years. Her body broke down. They get with that woman body tighter than a 20-year-old. Okay. Ain't did half the stuff these females be doing nowadays. And then these people always got some, oh yeah, she begging him and she running him down. And that man be running that woman down. So happy they got stability. Only reason they got to go around their friends and family and pretend they miserable. But you get up and try to leave and you got a fatal attraction. They acting a fool. And you not the problem. You don't have people in your business. Or sometimes you do. Because I shut my friends and stuff down. I be like, hold up. Even when I was real young. Because I got married under 18. And I'm finna tell you. I didn't play that mess. When I made a decision, I made it with my spouse. Because all these people that got all these opinions, let you need some money. They ain't finna work and take care of you. Okay? They not trying to plan you a successful life. A lot of them be in competition with you. A lot of them be wanting your spouse. Your friends. Your friends want to be single for life. Could be, looking at you. Your girlfriend looking at you. Okay? And she wants you to come out of the straight life into her lifestyle. People want to prove that marriage don't work. People give bad advice because they was immature. People they go gamble up their money. Turn around and say, oh, why they complaining? You just went to the casino a little bit, but the light bill was due. People don't want to give good advice. People just want to talk junk and make themselves seem relevant in your life, your marriage. But I tell people, why don't you go get you a marriage and be relevant in that thing? Why are you have such a voice that you're just stalking me and have so much opinion, and then you look at your spouse? Why are you out there talking about us? And sometimes you ain't got to, because put your business out. People just gonna talk. And I ask people, why are you relevant in my life? Like, I had to tell people, I don't care, parents, sister, brother, cousin, I let them know. Why do you concern yourself with my life? But if I turn around and need a roof over my head. You're not going to help me pay my rent half. Okay, if that's what my spouse is doing, or all, you're not going to do that. You want to talk about, oh well, he gonna tell you can't hang out with your friends. Which is more important, a roof over my head or some friends? If I agree to it, why do you have such a big opinion and you're not gonna help me? If I wanted to leave, try to leave your spouse and try to stay with a relative, even if they don't know where they stay. They're not gonna let you stay. You be there by the time the second month come in, they be sitting around talking crazy, wanting you to leave and pay rent, and you should buy the half the food, but you gotta save up to get your own. And they the main ones. I was like, sometimes you just gotta work some things out. But I tell people the reason marriages is not as successful nowadays, because back in them days, they recognized they needed each other and stuck it out to get through. Nowadays, you got women, and I ain't gonna even call them women, little girls who get married and talking about, well, it's an age gap. We go to the party, they don't know how to. And most of the time, a lot of them older men people dance better than the younger person. But then it's a problem. They so immature in their mind, they want you to impress their friends. And you be looking at them like, what? Why the hell am I trying to impress their friends for? And their friends be hitting on you. But you don't want to come between their friendship. But they too immature to even see it. And you be like, oh my God, he walked away and his friends in there busting on everything he do. You be confiding in people, and then the same person come back and want to have something to say. I seen a guy, and I was out somewhere, and this guy, let's say I knew him from my job. And when I left that job, he was always hitting on me, but he knew I was married. And I seen him a couple days ago. And I got to start focusing on looking straight. And he had got a girl pregnant. But when he seen me outside of the job, he turned around and was hitting on me. And he said, yeah, I'm staying by myself, single man. The man was living with his first baby mama, had 2 children by her. Then this woman was pregnant. And within this year, the baby probably was about 6 or 7 months, he got another woman pregnant. Okay, these women would come up to different places, like a job site, his job site, arguing, fighting, acting a fool. And this man sitting around, this guy was talking to me. He had deep interest in me. He was like, yeah, you planning on getting with such and such. I said, that's a lie. First of all, I never failed for such and such. Such and such is out here making a whole bunch of babies in the street. He's sitting up talking about he's single and he got his own place and he lived with his first baby mama. Then when he got the second baby mama, he walked into the room one day and let's say he worked at a grocery store and I came to the grocery store. His baby mama standing there, he can't even speak to you then. And I just spoke, how you doing? Such and such. And he looked at me, I looked at the baby, what? Human beings don't speak. And then she left, went home, and I so happened was at the grocery store and she wasn't nowhere around. She just left. Why this man all over me? Oh, baby, this, and that, and trying to live. He. And he heard that I was such an age. And I told him, first of all, that ain't even true. He 44 and I'm 47. What? And he gonna try to act like he young. Yeah, because you an older woman. Boy, bye. Get the heck out of here. Get out of here. You sound dumb. But you the one chasing me down and want to hold these conversations. I'm not even talking to the guy. I just walk by and say, I ain't got nothing to say. Because if he can't speak to me when he around his baby mama, we just going to not speak. I walk by, oh yeah, 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 yeah. He all in my face. And I just look real dumb. And I tell people, I've been told you the man, I knew when he first started talking to me that he was living with a woman. You know, I have that kind of discernment. I picked that up instantly. Then baby mamas, two babies pop up. But you supposed to be this single man and you at this age and you think you're going to talk to me? I was like, first of all, you don't even have enough sense to stop having babies. You don't want no children. You just want to be able to have a door open so you can go from this woman's house to this person's house. And I was like, at 44, you too old to be playing them games. That's stupid. You should have been over that about 21. And that's the problem with society. They make all these excuses for people to be immature. And that's the fall of society. Nobody want to be responsible. But everybody want to talk about, oh yeah, they were trying to play me for my money. Oh no, they thought I was a sucker. The child wasn't mine. They lying about this. Everybody needs to stop lying about things and be sincere. Either you want a committed relationship or you don't. Either you want to be married or you don't. You should be just straightforward. I don't really want this. And let this person go be free. If somebody want to be married and you don't, let them go ahead and be married. Live their life. I told people the first time I was intimate and I was not married, that was the most horrific experience for me. I don't find it cute that somebody lay down with me and reject me. I'm not good enough to marry, but I'm supposed to be good enough for you to figure it out on. Baby, bye. You ain't finna test drive me like that. I don't even like stuff like that. And I tell people, well, culturally, I follow my culture, and I was married within 30 days. I didn't really play those games. You're just wasting time. You know, you 5 years dating this person, engaged. Because to me, I don't believe in engagement past 6 months. That's ridiculous. You know if you want to spend your life with them, you just haven't found who you wanted. Bye. That's how I feel. Why are you playing these games? Ain't nobody got to hold no space for you. And I look at these women, you just want to say you have somebody and they want to marry you. 5 years later, we all know you will just, please pick me. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to stand here, have kids by you so no other woman wants you. Or they got to wait till our kids get grown because I'm going to put in for child support and take all your money and you're going to be useless in a relationship. I'm going to call all times a day and have my children go over there and be disrespectful and pick. Because you didn't marry them. And they wasn't even in love with you. They just want to be married because such and such was married. And all this foolishness that go on. And like I tell people, don't nobody want no cheating man. Don't nobody want no cheating woman. If you want to have an open relationship, just say, well, I'm not looking for monogamy. I just want an open situation. I don't really want to be married. Give somebody an opportunity not to give birth. Because just because they give birth to your child don't mean you ain't going to pay child support. You can pay child support while you're married to them. And I done seen the judge rule that way. Let's be honest in 2026 and from now on that we're going to get in relationships and we're going to be honest. You can work things out if you really love each other and want a committed relationship. But if you one of those want to go test this out and test this out, when I tell people, it's a lot come with that spiritually. I'm not going to be fighting your girlfriend and don't you be fighting some man that want me. Okay? that I have already got a soul tie with because we was intimate. We was in a relationship. And it really was, it wasn't a relationship. It was cop blocking, someone utilizing you for something. Have an open door so they can come move in if anything happened to them. They pairing a spare. If they don't have no food, they can come by and probably you cook dinner, or you help them out on some groceries and just a bit here and there. And they forgot all about God and his standards. Then they want to get mad when this man, they catch him cheating with this person, or this woman cheating with this person, and they want to say, well, I didn't spend all this money, I had your back. But that person wanted to get married and you didn't. You don't have a right to hinder anybody from having a lifestyle that they want. And you're not married. If you're not married, you're still single. And you can walk away at any time. If they chose to walk away, why are you mad? You didn't give them no solid commitment. All of this, we just gonna be messing around, and I'm gonna say monogamy, and they can be faithful to you, but you're not married. Like I tell people, I don't want to be spiritually cursed because you don't want to get married. I want somebody to share my values. Don't ask me to be, you want to spend the night, but we're not married. You stay at your house, I stay in mine. You want this person, then you go over to them. I'll let you go. That's what the word of God says. If somebody want to leave, let them go. Okay, bye. Why should I have you in my life and you just blocking my progress? I buy a house. Okay, and I'm working years to pay for the house. Then, let's get married so you can try to take my house. Oh, no, 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 no. And they need to destroy them type of laws that turn around and tell you somebody can walk in your life and take half. If they ain't work to produce half, then they ain't gonna get half. Then you wonder why people come up unalive. Because people, they done work 10, 20 years, they be doggone if they sit around and lose all their stuff to someone who decided to get married to them for what they have. But while y'all was in a relationship, you trying to break up, they refuse to move out. They refuse to let you go. They stalking you, showing up everywhere. And they never wanted to be married. 5, 7 years later, you done paid off your house, and here they come. They want to get married. Want to know why? Because they ain't got to pay rent. They just see they can pay their property taxes. See, people be doing too much. All the hustle and the scam. I just tell God, just remove people who just really don't genuinely love me, who genuinely don't want to make it work, don't want to spend their life with me. Move people who want to just use me, have a come up, but not in love with me. I just tell people I may not be everybody's cup of tea, just like everybody ain't my cup of tea. But I am woman enough to walk away from situationships that I never wanted. And that's the best word to use for most of these situationships. Only reason he acting a fool because he don't have somebody that'll take him in if you put him out. His parents and relatives not going to let him stay. And that go vice versa for a female. Only reason they making babies by you is so they can have you tied down. So nobody else wants you. But then they want to act a fool. Cheat. Don't want to work. Don't want to put in their portion. I tell people, I don't lay up with my parents. If we in a situation and we're being intimate, then you should stand as an intimate adult. All adults have to pay bills. You need a job. Should nobody have to tell you that? But people, no, they don't want to listen. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. People have bad choices. The word of God say, and two shall become as one. Not your mammy, your daddy, your brother, your cousin, or all six of your sisters and brothers. They're not a part of your marriage. They shouldn't be having so many opinions. My children that ain't even married, I tell a person, man, I don't be in their business. They got to make that work. And if my children's in a real bad position, yeah, they can come home. But I tell them to stand out there. You got children. If you have children, you need to be there with your children. And I told my son, you can't let any man be over your children. There's a lot of weirdos out here. We seen that in the movie Baby Boy, when Yvette and they had Snoop come in. He came in, he refused to leave the house, but he wasn't doing nothing to add value to the household. And she had to go to her baby daddy. He come in and had to get him out, and things went too far, and people could have been unalived, and all because you got a bum looking for a roof, and he don't really love you. He just want his cake and eat it too, and he don't have a situation to go home to and decide, let me come in. That's why I be looking at people. If you be honest in the beginning, and I always tell women, and I tell men too, if you want to marry somebody within, in my opinion, about a week at the most. You know. And God will enlighten you. People be sitting here trying to play these games. Let me tell you something. A man know. I done seen men tell me, oh, such and such. If I had her, I would marry her in a heartbeat. That woman becomes single. That man shoot over to that woman. They be married in within a couple of months. A person know. And I always tell people, it's just something in you. You know. And that something is God. I don't believe you with somebody 5, 6, 7 years. Because I tell people, I done had men stalk me, proclaim they was in love with me. And as soon as my first husband passed or relationship, we separate, they be right there. Boom! Popping up all the time. And I had to tell them, okay, why are you here? Well, I was just thinking, I know you're going through a hard time. They're trying to push up on you. Brother, bye. They know. Well, such and such, you with that Negro. But they don't say Negro. And I appreciate a woman like you. They be saying all kind of stuff. But you with someone talking about 5 years later, you engaged. Then you get married, he cheating. A couple weeks later, find out he got a baby on the way or had 2 on you while you was engaged. Crazy stuff. And I just look at people, like older people. If I'm talking to an older person, I'm telling them about my spouse. And they trying to separate. You should leave. Ain't no way in the world I play them games. And you be like, what games? All relationships go through something. Just because we have a disagreement, why are you trying to get me to break up? You be better off by yourself. How? How am I better off by myself when 2 is better than 1? Okay, why are you talking completely leave this relationship? And you be like, why? Why are you so hell bent on me leaving somebody? And then I didn't hear him. You asked them about marriage. Oh no, my husband's cheated on me, or my wife. when I was dating her, she didn't respect me and everything, and I left, and this one left, and it's 50 years later, and they still talking about that marriage where that person cheated or they left, and they wouldn't want to be intimate on the regular instead of them working it out, and they bitter about it. And if you let them tell it, it's something wrong with anybody who want to be married. If you're a woman and you tell them and they hate marriage, let me tell you something. The moment you turn around and say, well, I'm working while my husband's going to school, you a fool. That's the first thing they're going to say. Other people's opinions in your marriage. What? You'd be surprised how loyal people can be. You sit around and tell them, and the man, yeah, I told my wife to stay at home and raise the children. Stay at home? That's crazy. She need to contribute. But don't you think that grown man knows if he want his wife to work? He knows she can get a job. Everybody can get a job. But that's what I be talking about. Too many voices in your marriage. And this person right here ain't ever been married. Alcoholic, crazy, swim down there, good man, good person. If you want to see a successful marriage, then you go to God. Do things the right way. Stop making excuses and foolishness, because when that spiritual warfare hit, let me tell you something. Them same people, and they start losing everything, and attack after attack after attack. I just tell people, yeah, but you know what? I really ain't got to be bothered with that. If you didn't want to be bothered with me to be in it to win it as my spouse, I don't see why I should be praying, fasting, looking out for you. I don't love me less than I love you. I'm going to do what's best for me and love me first. And if somebody don't want to be somewhere, I tell a person all the time, God going to come after them extra hard, because I tell them, if you don't want me, we can just be friends. We can be cool. But why hold up my life when you insincere? That's why I be looking at people, females. Y'all do this stupid stuff, go to dates out of state, cross country, but you really don't like them and don't want them to touch you, and you don't want to be intimate with them. Stupid stuff. Leave them people alone. Let them go ahead and be happy. But you got a cop block because you want a trip. You want bragging rights. And that comes with certain conditions. Now, I'm not saying because you're in a relationship that you have to be intimate, because I wasn't intimate before I got married. And when I get involved with people, I tell people, if it ain't for you, it ain't for you. But I'm trying to walk the straight and narrow path. I have no interest in being intimately involved with someone, because I have been intimately involved and with someone and we didn't lock in. That hurt my heart. Okay, the time I waited, I agreed to some sin because you promised me something and you a liar. No, that don't work for me. Then get mad, or you just gonna dump me like this? Yeah, I dump you just like that. It's not what I want. Don't waste my time. Move on. You can't have your cake and eat it too. When people tell you that stuff, you can get something for nothing. I've seen a lot of good looking people, male and females, mess up they life thinking they the cat's meow and they above God's word and playing games. And then all of a sudden, something horrific happened to them. Nobody wants them. Not only from going to jail and prison, and while they in there, most people are playing them on the outside anyway. And I done seen people get sick, wake up one year, you can be happy, and then next time you go to the doctor, they tell you got cancer or lupus, and they gone. The person that you didn't give yourself to nobody. You just played with everybody. You were just community intimacy. And then in your time of need, you recognize you need a human being. But nobody want to be there because you haven't invested in them and they moved on with their lives. Then you start reaping all this negativity and evil that you put out there. And then you want to cry. And I always tell people, why are you crying? A human being is not your toilet, whether you're male or female. You done went and had an operation. You was born a female and you're a man now. You're outside because you cannot change your gender. And you get this female and she find out that you was born a female. Everybody don't want to be in a gay relationship. And then you wonder why they mad. And then when horrific things happen and this person come unalive, you hear people say, well, they ain't have to take it that far. That person never had to lie. That's very offensive. Everybody don't want to be in a same gender relationship. And a sex change is not gonna make it. I tell people, if you are not born male, stay out my face. I'm not interested. You play a game, I find out, trust me, I'm coming at you. Okay? My God coming after you. Don't nobody want to play them games. I have a right to choose and say if I'm with this or not. If I say no, no it is. It has to be respected. People do a lot of goofy stuff, and that's why you see so many women had a husband, but they knew deep down there was something wrong. Find out he on the DL, on the down low. Find out really, and I tell people, when they say down low, it's deeper than that. You just found out about it. They really is this way, but they use you as an image. And you be like, yeah, they go out and stay away months at a time and this and that and won't work. I said, how you know they don't work? They be gone all the time, have fake arguments, going over to their sister house, this one house. First of all, I tell people, I'm not playing all those doggone stupid games. If you don't want to be here, bye. I'm moving on. But something about people that be on that mess, they want to fight for you and cop block. And you wonder why a lot of marriages don't work. Because some people are just big liars. Big liars. They don't want nothing in life. They don't think God gonna set their behinds down. They think they got 1,000,001 choices. Like I tell people, first of all, in this day and age, when you look at the HIV rate in states, 7 out of 10 is, HIV positive or other kind of incurable positive. And you got another great portion that's not even straight. Mental health, or just plain don't want you. The devil's seed. You don't always have all the choices you think you have. Because I tell people, it's just the fact that my father's a great entertainer. A lot of people, they want to be with me because they just feel like when he passed, I'll get some money. That man ain't giving me no money. That's for him and his wife. Okay? And that's the reason they want to be there. And get connected and get hooked up. If If they get 5 seconds to talk to my dad, then they kissing up his behind. Man, bye. A lot of them. They just want you because you're good looking so they can tell somebody else, yeah, such and such all over me. And they'll use you and make the person that's currently in their life chase them even harder, do even more for them to get them. And they really wanted to be there anyway. They never wanted you. That's what I be looking at people. And then you find out you be chasing this person. You think they all in love and find out, child, they done did so much and they had about 10 kids on you. And I just look at people. And I tell them person, I can love a person, but that don't mean I'm going to commit to them. I find out you done made in 3 years, you done made 6 children, 10 children. Baby, bye. I find out you got a drug habit, I'm out. Okay? You sleeping with 1,000 people, bye. I found out you 304, whether you're a man or woman. You out here, just being intimate for advancements and I tell people, when you intimate with somebody, you open up a lot of doors. I don't want to have to go through a whole bunch of unnecessary fighting for no reason for somebody that's on some BS. Keep it 100. And that's the problem with a lot of people. People don't keep it 100. These women be swearing up and down these children they have is this man. And these men been sneaking out getting a DNA test. Take their kid out with them and swab that kid and send a kit in. And they find out the kid is not theirs and the woman says, right, like she don't have a clue. You had a clue. You knew who you was involved with. That's what get me about a lot of females. It gotta be yours. Girl, bye. Get out of here. Nobody want to hear that. Somebody's life is all effed up because you lied. Just like those females, she's so pretty. Then you get with her and stuff. You think everything's straight, and then she accuse you of rape. Or she have a child, and the child is trained to accuse you of that. Then you want to cry. But then you don't say nothing about you cop blocking somebody's life and keeping them from being happy. That's why I be looking at people like, y'all, people do too much. God, take over my life. If I be with someone, I want to be with someone because I love them and they love me. And then you told me this is best for me. I don't want to try to figure it out. Take the guesswork out of it. Life is too short to be on some mess. Because these people that you be declaring your love to, you look back at them a couple years later and you found out they just made a monkey out of you. You'll find out the one that you say, It can, and I mean, this person can look like and be, I done seen it. The church girl, that movie with Ja Rule, church girl. Meet the guy that's out in the street, the dope dealer, the gang banger, whatever. And that guy be the best man for that woman, marry that woman and take care of that woman, and they so happy together. But you have the whole church tell them, oh no, leave them alone, that's trouble. And that church girl, they friend, oh, that's a dud, why you gonna wait? And them two people be so happy. And God can lead them to each other. And they can appear so incompatible and be perfect. But because you never consulted God about who should be in your life, or want to do things the right way, or be honest and everything, you're mad because things didn't work out, and you try to minister to everybody else that they shouldn't get married, they shouldn't be with this, don't be with that, don't do this. Whatever. I tell people, well, if I can't be married, I'll just be single. And when I say single, I ain't trying to give up the goodies just to be with you. Because I don't see why I should be doing all of this for someone who want to lay up with me and take me to hell. No. No. It's not for me. People can say old-fashioned values, but most females, and I'm going to tell you, a lot of men want to be married. A lot of people do. It's nothing worse than investing in somebody you don't know is going to be there with you. I just tell people, if you want to be married, do all this. You want to say, I want to play with this and that. Playing with all of this and that. You playing with your life, Russian roulette. It's stuff down out here that it can unalive you, but it can also put you on medication that you having so many side effects that your life is miserable. If you don't have it, the government don't fund it, and when you can't afford to pay for it, you don't have this much time on this side of the grave, I don't see the point. People don't look that good to me. I tell people, I don't get it. I love to see a good looking man. Woo! I remember back in the day, Nelly take his shirt off and I'd be like, Nelly. But him and Ashante, I'm so happy. They made that work. I'm so happy. And they got a family. They got something solid. I don't want to see no old goofball. You got a Flavor Flav with all these females fighting to be with him. And he acting crazy. And ended up all alone. And all of them that got involved with him, they just made a monkey out of each other. Just foolishness on top of foolishness. I also believe in good looking couple need to be with a good looking person. Sometimes God, he has things another way. But I always tell people they need to be with their equal. You don't need to be with someone that's just obsessed to be with you to the point they can't love themselves or they become dangerous. Because there's a lot of men, they find a good looking woman. And if that man ugly, man, that woman will come up unalive, so miserable. They'll get the beating you and going through a whole lot of mental and emotional changes. And I tell people, tell God, you can keep away any man who want to put his hand on me. I don't have an identity crisis. I'm not a punching bag. I'm not going to stand. No, not me. And people ask me, so is such and such like, no, I don't deal with that. I'm not, when I give my opinion, it's just my opinion on my stance on things, but that don't mean I'm going through it. I just talk about things so people can reflect on things and make better choices. Why are you really with this person? Are you being honest? Because no matter what you say, the man upstairs is looking. And when you're trying to play with somebody's heart, that karma who got everybody's address will put you in a bag. Your worst nightmare will become your reality. And you be like, oh Lord. No. Because see, God, when he chasing you or he put his wrath or judgment on you, let me explain something about him. He gonna get it where it's gonna hurt you. He's not gonna just give you someone that'll break your heart. It depends on who you're messing with. He'll do things that person you become a fatal attraction. Man, God'll put you in prison. You in a car accident and you find out your legs are gone, you're paralyzed. He have a way of keeping you away from somebody. I always tell people, be careful who you play with. Don't play all those games. Karma do still have your address. and all these people want to do things outside of the way God want to do, I tell people, if you don't want to serve God, I don't have a problem with that. You're not offending me. You offended the man upstairs, but he gave you a choice. He don't have to provide for you when you're not his. Okay? He don't owe you a lot of stuff. And I just tell people, look, and he bound himself to his word to his children. As long as we are obedient. I tell people, if you know I'm Christian and you don't want to be Christian, keep scrolling, keep moving on. I'm not going to sit up and argue with you and you don't have no standards and no morals and no values, and or you serving an entity and all these demons coming in my life. I'm not playing with you. I don't want to be bothered. And I'm very blunt when I go before God. I'm very bold. God, take away anything, anyone that is hindering me from having what you ordained for my life. Anybody who purposely want to bring harm to me, I ask God to deal with them. You know, all them witches and stuff, man, the stuff they be taking you through, I tell a lot of people, first of all, I didn't feel half the stuff you was doing. My God got me covered. I go to sleep, I sleep good at night. I know they be doing stuff, and when I be praying that return to sender, and they start going through horrific stuff, I just look at it and I say, whew, I just pray they come into repentance. I don't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy when they was sitting around doing foul stuff to me. But life goes on. I just keep on and let God show forth his glory and show the world how much he loved me. Because I sure love God. You know, that's why I want to do things the right way. I tell people, what's the value of not doing things the right way? It don't even make sense. I tell so many people they lonely and heartbroken and going through these changes. And I tell people, well, if you just choose God and just be with who you want to be, you'll have your challenges, but at least your heart will leap. This video going on too long, but I just wanted to get up here and talk about marriage. The reason a lot of marriage don't work because people take too long to walk down that aisle. God doesn't give space for you or grace for you to fornicate for years and years and years on end. You wonder why certain blessings ain't came your way? You putting the horse before the court. The cart. I said court. Before the cart. Stop making these children out of wedlock. The family dynamic is not standing strong anymore because there's too many different nations, children by different people in one household. It's not cute a woman get up there and say she got 7 children by 7 different fathers and now on baby number 8, and all these children are hurting because all of them want to know deep down, every child want to feel like their father loved them. They want their father and mother together. They don't want their mother. How many people pray? Well, I want a person that got 7 children by 7 different people. People don't pray for that. And then a lot of times you see them people with all them children. When their children get grown, that's when they find a solid relationship. Because everybody don't want to provide financially or spend their time taking care of another person's child. That's why you can't have children every which way. And you have tribes that's born in people that used to war with other nationalities. And you have these different tribes. You done had babies by each one of these men that had this bloodline. And you wonder why you got a war in your house. You got a Cain and an Abel. You wonder why you get with someone and it goes left. Some things are just not for you. Bonnie and Clyde did the same thing. Romeo and Juliet loved took on the depths to do the things that they did. I wouldn't want to be either one of them. I don't look at entertainers. I can't even name not one entertainer who I would want my marriage like. If I come close, it'd be Nelly and Ashanti. Maybe Sierra and her husband. People that's into them, into each other. But outside of that, But I'm going to be praying for everybody. I'm that girl goddess. I'm talking about marriage. I'd like for you to like, share, comment, talk with me. We're going to talk about it. We need to change. That's all I can say. Y'all be blessed. And let's talk serious and start making better decisions and stop putting the cart before the horse. Let's just turn some things around. This is 2026 should be a year of change and better decisions and choices being made. Let's make some changes for the better and start talking to people as if they are human beings with real feelings. Respect the order of how they want their lives. Let's just make some changes. Bye. Like, share, and subscribe.